everyone, welcome back. So today we are building with the new horse ranch pack. I don't know if this video is going to go up first or the other one that I just recorded is going to go up first, but either way, I'm going to have two videos coming up for the horse ranch pack because I am finally able to do a voiceover. I'm finally having time at home where it's quiet and I can get a voiceover done. So I'm getting at least these two videos out of the way. The other build is a little bit bigger. This build is on a smaller lot. As I said, I don't know which one's going up first, but my first build was on that big 64 by 64 lot. Um, and yeah, I haven't gotten around to editing that build yet, so I don't know when or if that's gonna come out. I love how it turned out, but I just don't know if I'm gonna get around to posting that on my YouTube. If I don't, I might just post the build to the gallery and just have it on the gallery so you guys can download it. But I don't know if I'm ever gonna get to do a voiceover for it, so yeah. But anyway, this is a single sim home. At least that's how I have it. It's one bedroom, one bathroom, and then downstairs is like a dining room, living room, kitchen that's kind of open floor plan, but like kind of not. But this was a very tiny build. I did not make it like this was like a very small lot, and I wanted to have a space for the horse. And I figured like this is a single like what I had this in mind was like a single cowboy who, is kind of all alone and he's kind of like a loner. He doesn't want to be bothered. He just has his like favorite horse, or like he just has his horse, like just one, and that's just how he lives his life. He just lives off like the land, and all he needs is his horse. And I did add some like goats and sheep to the sim that I put on this lot, so maybe he's just like into animals, but he just doesn't want to deal with other sims. So he doesn't really need the space for other sims because he doesn't have really family or anything. um that's just kind of the backstory I was going with this. So yeah, like just a very like single life cowboy, doesn't need anybody else, and just lives alone, and he's very happy, or she's very happy. And yeah, I don't know, that's just kind of where I was going with it. And I don't know, I think I made this build very like masculine and like very rustic. So I don't know, I just love the way this house turned out. And the outside is so dark. Like I use this dark like black like wood tone and like the dark stone, and I just think it looks so like, I don't know, just like not spooky, but just like kind of like a don't bother me like home. But I just love it. And then the inside is like I think I use like a bright yellow wood, so it's like completely opposite to what the outside is. But I think it just turned out so well, and it kind of just like maybe shows like the character of the Sims. Like on the outside they're just trying to like show everybody like I don't want to be bothered, but on the inside they're actually like very happy and friendly and outgoing and whatever, but they just don't act that way. I don't know, but I just love the way it came out, and I love like the contrast of like it being so dark on the outside but so bright and like yellow on the inside. But yeah, here I'm just kind of doing the landscaping, and I wanted to kind of leave like the sandy, like dirt kind of like flooring, but I wanted it to have a little bit of grass because, like I said, the sim probably has animals. So I just like put a little bit of the grass like swatch down, but I muted it like a ton. So like maybe this used to have grass on this lot, but it like died out over the years, and like the sim just kind of like let it kind of like die down, and now it's just like this old like just like this kind of burnt up grass. But yeah, I don't know. I just for some reason this build just came out like really nice, and I just like the way it turned out, and like I just kind of had that like kind of worn down look, but at the same time it looked well kept, if that makes any sense. But then actually do add, as you'll see in a short bit. I'm not sure exactly where it comes in, but I do add a basement into this build because I really wanted this sim to, maybe they're like like kind of a loner and they don't want to be bothered, but they're very into nectar making, and that's how they make their money. And they're just very good at it. So I wanted to, and I think I read or heard somewhere, or maybe it was in the older games, I think they said nectar like ages better in a basement. I haven't actually found out if that's true or not. If it is, please let me know. It might be, it might not be. That's what I heard. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna give this in the basement and do like a whole like nectar making area and like a bar and everything. So like maybe like the people don't really know like anything about the sim, and they get nectar like from like the farmer market or something, but they don't know where this nectar comes from. And secretly, it's like this sim that lives in this house that like makes the nectar for the town. You know what I mean? But he has like a secret like bar nectar thing in his basement, like that nobody knows about. So on the side of the house where like I have the grass right there in front of that little bump out, I end up adding like the little ladder that goes down into the basement, so it's kind of like hidden. But I don't know, I just loved it for this build. I just thought it fit perfectly, and I just thought like it fit this Sims personality. So I was like, yes, I have to do a basement, and I have to do it like secretive and stuff. But it actually turned out really nice. Like I love how the downstairs turned out. And like I said, I did make it a bar. So maybe this sim like has some clients, like very like high end expensive clients come over that like they're the only ones they allow to come like visit him, and he's like, that's why he has this nice bar downstairs to like show off his nectar so that they're like willing to buy it. Like I really went overboard with my storytelling in my head for this build. But I don't know, I like doing that. I like having a story behind the build because I just think it makes it that more realistic and that more fun. And I don't know, I just love it. But here you'll see the ladder. I have it here. I have it against the building, but I guess your Sims couldn't access it because my Sim would not go down. So all I did was I expanded one more floor tile over. It's still hidden behind the grass, so it's still kind of like secretive. But I just expanded one more floor tile over, and I just turned the fence forward, like the ladder forward, so that your Sims can actually get down it. So it is functional. I play tested it, and the Sims can now get down it. Um, but yeah, it's functional, and like I said, I just love how this basement came out. And at first I was gonna go with like a dirt floor, like a basement, but then I was thinking like, no, this sim has like a finished basement. Like they went overboard, like above and beyond. Like they wanted this basement to look like nice. They weren't just gonna be like in your like basement. So yeah, I did that. And then I sectioned off the staircase because when you have it to the upstairs, like it changes the lighting and it looks weird. So I wanted to section the staircase off, so I put like a door, just so it didn't change the lighting in the basement, because I wanted the basement to have this like nice and like dark and moody like feeling to it, like kind of looks a little sophisticated and just a little bit like money, like a little, I don't know, it looks a little rich, and like the wood tones just look so nice, and it just looked fancy. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I absolutely love how it came out. So yeah, I put the bar over here, and then like I said, I stacked up all those wine storages, so you can store all the wine in there, and then I gave them a nectar maker over here in this corner, so your Sims can end up making nectar down here and then storing it and letting it age, and then they sell it to the town. um, but yeah, that's where I was going with this. Like that's what this sim does. And it just came out so nice. And I do end up expanding the basement. I don't know if it's, I think I might have done it in the speed build, but I'm not sure if I did. But I do expand it like a little bit more over, and to give it a little bit more space, because it just felt like kind of tight right now. So I did expand it over a little bit, and it will be a little bit bigger than this. But I still wanted it to be kind of like a small, cozy basement. Like I didn't want it to be too big. But I definitely wanted to have enough room for your Sims to move around and be able to get around. Yeah, here I did. I just expanded a slight bit. Just to add these um, the wine stacks. Like this is where like those are the wine that your sim has to like sell right now. Like that's all the ones they collected. But I wanted to add all the decor pieces and all the functional items that I possibly could that came with the new pack, and especially the ones that had to do with the nectar making. So yeah, I wanted to make it enough space where I could fit all of it, and that your Sims can actually get around and use everything. But yeah, I still wanted it to be kind of small, like a basement. And then I really wanted to add the new trailer that came with it, because I love that. I think it's so cute, but it just didn't fit. So instead I added this cute little fire pit area, and I thought that was really cute. It fit kind of by the rocks, and like I put a little guitar, and maybe like the sim comes out here and he like, just plays guitar and like just hangs out like with his animals and stuff. I thought that was really cute. And then I put that new like wooden like sign that like for the ranch, like the ranch sign. I put that over there because I try to put that in all the builds because I don't know. I just feel like figured like you want people to know this is your ranch and like you want to name it. So I just like having that. And then for some reason my staircase got deleted when I went back upstairs, so I just had to replace it. But yeah, here I'm just doing this little upstairs decking area. Like I said, it's very small. I put one of the new barbecue grills in here because I figured the sim wouldn't have like a fancy barbecue. They would have one of those like the metal ones, the ones that came with the new pack, and I just thought it looked really nice over there and it fit perfectly, so I stuck that. And a little rocking chair over there with like a little side table to sit at, so like maybe your sim barbecues and then goes sits and eats, their barbecue. I don't know. I don't know what you eat at a barbecue. I don't eat meat, so I don't barbecue like meat or anything. I barbecue like veggie burgers. So maybe your sim is making veggie burgers. But whatever. So now we're moving on to the inside. As you can see, the barn was already done, like the little horse shed. I just added a horse bed and some hay and, like the water trough and the food feeder and all that for like this, because the sheep and the goats can eat out of the feeder also. So I wanted to make sure that it leaves at least one for the horse and for the sheep and goats. But yeah, that was all done over there. It's like I said, it only fits one horse. But I figured that was enough for the sim. Like they would only want one horse. And then here I'm just adding all the wallpaper, and like I said, I went very heavy on the wood. Like the inside of the build is like all wood. Like I feel like maybe the sim built this house themselves, like, and they built it from scratch, so everything's like wood. Like, they took wood off from the land and like built the house from it. So that's why I kind of like went from the inside has like that all wooden like cabiny feel, because like maybe the sim did this themselves. But I just love it, and I did like this yellowy tone because I thought it matched really nicely with the dark wood windows. Like I just thought the colors just really looked nice. And like my other build, I went like black and white and kind of dark, and I went really dark on the outside here. So I didn't want the inside to be so dark because I feel like I always go like with like black or gray or white. Like I never really do like, I mean I do colorful builds, but when I do colorful builds, they're like really colorful. Like it's one or the other. Like I'm too colorful or I'm too dark. So I felt like this yellow wood tone was just like perfect. Like it was so pretty, and like it was a lot. It was a lot of yellow wood in here. Like I don't know if I did too much or if it was just like just enough and it works. But to me it worked. I liked it. I think it came out really nice, and I don't know. I just really enjoyed it. And then, like I said, I used the new table, and that new little hutch thing that came with the new pack. I put that in the dining room. And again, I put more of those little stackable plates in there, and I think I put some more clutter in there. And I was trying to change the wood tones on like the table and the hutch and everything, to like a darker tone. Like you can see here, I was trying all these different color swatches. Because I didn't want it to all be this yellow wood tone because I felt like it was too much of that one color. So I was trying to break it up, but it wasn't working for me. Like when I went to a dark swatch, it just didn't like it. When I went to this green swatch, I tried on the chairs and I was like, that just doesn't look right. Then I tried the black chairs and I was like, nah. So I ended up just using the same wood tone on the table and the chairs and the furniture. It's the same like yellowy wood tone, which, like I said, I was trying to avoid that, but it just, none of the other colors really worked for me. And I think it all blends really nicely. I mean, it's a lot of the same color, but I think it works. I don't think it's too over the top. If it is, if you think it is, I'm sorry. You could change it. I mean, you could change the swatches and everything. I just like the way it came out. And then I use this really pretty like swatch on the couch with like that teal color because I felt like I used that on the table runner and the rug. So I thought that really looked nice. I really like that teal, like that, like the little arrows and stuff on the couch and the chair. I like that swatch, so I thought it looked really well in this build, so I put that in there. And then over here, I just put one of those little clothing racks that like hang the new clothes on it, and I put like the new like hanging clothes that we got, like the little like the jackets and the clothes and stuff that we got with the new pack. And then I did the same trick. Like I said, I don't know if this video is going first or the other one's going first, but I did this little trick you'll see in a few minutes. Here I'm just kind of adding more furniture to the living room. But, I'm working on the kitchen next. Am I working on the kitchen? Okay, I'll explain it later when I put that in, because I'm pretty sure I put it in this build. But I found it out by accident, and then I ended up really loving the trick, so I've been doing it in all my builds. But, Yeah, when I get over there, I'll explain it. But yeah, here I'm changing the swatches of the chairs back because I just did not like the black. It just didn't work for me. Um, but yeah, I was doing the cabinets, and again with these cabinets, like I love the wood tones, but I was having such a hard time like matching like the wood colors. But I feel like I think I stuck with this one. I felt like this one just kind of matched the back wall, like the colors on the wall, the best. But I still feel like the wood tones kind of clashed a little bit, but I'm just trying to like not worry about that as much. So I think I just like left it, and I was like, it looks fine. Like I tried to get over it, and I was like, it's just gonna be the way it is. But yeah, I just like really, I don't know. I just think this build came out really nice, and I think it was like perfect for like a single sim, and it just had everything they would need. I don't know. Did I add a refrigerator in this build? Now that I'm looking at it, where did I put the refrigerator? No, I had to have added a fridge, didn't I? I think I end up deleting that end cabinet right there on the end, not the ones with the shelves, the ones that end, and I think I put the fridge over there. I think that's what I do. Yeah. But yeah, okay, I did. I changed the swatch of the cabinets to like that more yellowy tone. Um, I guess it just looked better. Like it was like more of a reddish yellow tone. And um it kind of matched the backing better. And then, yeah, I did end up adding the fridge. I knew I added a fridge. I just wasn't sure. I was second guessing myself because I built this like a couple weeks ago. Well, like when the pack came out. And so now I'm finally getting to do the voiceover. So I kind of like forgot. I'm like, I know I added a fridge. No, but I did. And then I just cluttered up the counters a little bit, and like I added this little coffee thing, and I added like a little dirty mug because I figured like maybe the sim just like doesn't get around to washing his dishes as often as other sims might, so he kind of just leaves his dirty dishes around. But I really like that they gave us like that swatch on the coffee mug. But I cluttered this build up enough where it's cluttered for me, like because I overly clutter my builds. But I didn't want to add too much clutter because I feel like this sim doesn't use that much. Like the sim doesn't do that. Oh, this is the trick. Actually, it was a trick I didn't even know I did it by accident. But I took that shoe rack from the base game, and when I raised it up to sit on the shelf that comes with the new horse pack, that like the hanging clothes shelf, um, like if you raise it up enough where just the top of the shoe, like the wood on the shoe rack is showing, and you place it, it kind of drops down a little bit, so only the shoes sit on the shelf, and you're only seeing the shoes on the horse shelf, the horse pack shelf one. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I love how it came out, and I'm gonna use that every time now, and I just love it, and I know I use it in the other build, so you'll hear me say this again when that one comes out, or whichever one comes out first. I'm gonna say that I'm gonna tell you about it twice. But I just love it, and those, like I said, those shoes have like the little cowboy boots and everything on it, so I just feel like that fits so well with this pack, and like it just goes so well. So yeah, I just love how that turned out. And then over here, I'm just finishing up the living room, and I put one of those old-timey TVs on the fireplace because I feel like this sim doesn't really sit around and watch TV much. And when they do, they really just watch like the old time shows, like, shows from the past. They're not really watching any of the new shows, so like they probably haven't went out and bought a new TV or anything, so they just have like an old one that was handed down through the years. So I felt like that old-timey TV like works really well, and I believe it's I don't know if it's a debug item or not, but I believe it comes with the Eco Lifestyle pack. But I just love using that in builds where I don't want it to look modern, like I want it to look kind of old and rustic. So yeah, I like using that TV. And then here we're working on the upstairs bedroom. This is the one and only bedroom. Like I said, I made this for a single sim, but I guess technically you could have two sims in here because it's a double bed. So yeah, you could have two sims if you really wanted to, but I just made it for one sim. Um, but yeah, I just added one of the new beds from the new pack, and I just think it was really pretty. And then I used the wallpaper up here because I didn't want it to be all wood again because the whole downstairs and the whole hallway is wood. So I used the new wallpaper swatch from the pack that has the wood paneling on the bottom, but it has like paint on the top. And I used it in like the same yellowish wood color because I thought it matched the rest of the house like perfectly. But yeah, the bed, the end table, the lamp, that's all new from the new pack. Here I'm just adding like curtains. I was finally able to use the new curtains too because they look awkward on all the other windows in my builds because my builds have higher walls. But because I used the short walls on this build, they kind of like fit perfectly. So I was glad I got to use the new curtains in this one also. And I used them in that black swatch, which I just think is really nice and like really clean. And I don't know, it just kind of looks kind of like masculine. I don't know. I just really, really like that black swatch. If that sounds weird, I don't know. But yeah, so I'm adding like stuff back to the bedroom. Here I added like another one of those clothes hanging things, but this is more of like the open one. And then I added one of the, I think the skinny thing next to it is one of the new dressers we got, but it's like a skinny little unit. So I thought those two fit perfectly in here because I figured like this sim maybe uses that for like their intimate clothes, and then the regular clothes, they don't have a lot of it, so they just hang it up on the open shelving because they don't care. Because like they only have a few things of clothing and they don't really need to like have a whole dresser for it. So yeah, that's why I did the open shelving, and it just fit over in that corner perfectly, and I thought it looked really nice. And then I used one of the new stand-up mirrors that was from the new pack too. And I think I end up moving that over to the other wall, because later on when I work on the bathroom, I'm going to end up adding one of the storage things to that wall that the mirror is on. Yeah, so I just move the mirror over here and just slide the door down a little bit. But then I just clutter up the shelving a little bit, and I add a couple like little clutter items that like are a little bit, maybe a little personal, like some folded clothes. And I think I add the new, I added one of these little book things, and then I add the new, I think, stereo that came with the Horse Ranch pack. It's like an old-timey type of radio, but I added that on top of there because I figured it just looked really nice. And like maybe your sim likes to listen to like old-time radio, or likes to listen to the news or sports or whatnot on the radio, like, you know, like he's kind of like old-fashioned. So yeah, I just wanted to have that in the bedroom, and I really like that green swatch. I thought it was beautiful on that like radio, and it just tied in with like the green swatch on the bed, like the blanket that's on the bed at the end of the bed. I just love the green. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to tie the green into one more place. So I tied it in with the rug, and I used this fluffy rug. I believe the green one is from that party pack. I can't think of the name of it, but it's like that fancy, the one that comes with the butler. I can't think of the name of the pack. I'm sorry. But it's that one. So I used that underneath in that beautiful green swatch because it matched the green on the bed and the radio. And then I took the fluffy rug from the snowy skate pack, I believe that one's from, and I put it in that like tan color, and I just layered it on top because for some reason I'm really into layering rugs all of a sudden in the game, and I just think it looks beautiful. So yeah, I've been just doing that a lot. And I'm really liking layering rugs, so you're probably going to see that a lot in my builds again, because for some reason I just started on that because I've seen people do it and I think it looks so cool, but I never like trusted myself to actually go through with doing it, and now that I have, I just love how it looks. So yeah, I'm just going to be layering rugs now. But yeah, here we're just working on the one and only bathroom. Like I said, I used the new shower and the new sink. And then that's the shelving unit that came with the new pack. And I ended up moving it in the bedroom here. And in the screenshots, you'll see, I don't think I did it in the speed build, but in the screenshots, I end up putting a pet bed underneath it in the corner for like a dog or whatnot, if your sim has a dog. And then I add just a bunch of clutter to it. I figured like personal items like the razor and some like combs and some towels and stuff on there that like maybe your sim uses. And then here I just use this other shelf on top of the bathroom above the toilet, because now that we can clip things to the shelves, we can actually use the shelf. Thank you for EA for allowing us to actually clip items to the shelf for once, because that shelf was pretty useless before because we couldn't add anything to it. But yeah, I'm just adding a few more like clutter items and plants to the build. But this is really it for, you know, the build. And yeah, if you guys like it, please like and subscribe. I really, really appreciate it. And if you have any comments, please leave them down below, and I will do my best to try to get to them. And yeah, I hope you have a really great day, and I will see you guys in the next build. Have a great one. Okay, bye.
Likely the light of mine will burn out in the mountains where I spend my rambling years. I paid my sins from the poor traveling days. Oh Lord, please, can't you hear my prayers? So I rode my body up the mountain to a place where I can sit my rocking chair. I rode my body up the mountain, and I'm never going back again, I swear. Most likely the son of mine will be found mountains where I'm born and raised. I paid my duty as the sunny side cutie. Oh Lord, hear the sorrow in my heart. I rode my body up the mountain to a place where I can sit my rocking chair